Hello, 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 hello. Welcome back to Pinky Hooks. I'm your host, Shania Lancaster, and I want to say welcome if you are new to my channel. If you are stopping by for the first time, please stick around and see what this conversation is about tonight, this topic. Please hit that like button and subscribe. So, I really wanted to talk about the difference between introverts and extroverts. I will spend a little bit more time on the introverted category, being that we all know what extroverts are. Extroverts are people who are extremely outgoing, they are confident. Most of the times, extroverts tend to like the attention, and that's not to say it in a bad way. That does not mean because if you like the attention to be on you that you are conceited or anything like that. They're go-getters. They're out there. They're ready to take on the world, and they're just always out and about. They're very sociable people. And so pretty much we can all identify an extrovert, when we see it. But how many of us can identify an omnivert or an ambivert? So if you're wondering what the difference between an ambivert and an omnivert is, an ambivert is someone who displays and has a balance of being an extrovert or an introvert at certain times, okay? They can disguise themselves as well as an omnivert, and that is what I am. The problem with the omnivert is, and I shouldn't even say problem because I don't like to consider it a problem, but with an ambivert, they're very calm when they're switching between introvert and extrovert. An omnivert is extreme. So with me, this is the perfect example. My intentions when someone invites me somewhere, right? I can say, yeah, I'll go out. And I can talk about it all the way up. I can be prepared, get prepared. Like I'm literally putting on my clothes and I'm preparing to go out to this event or hang out with someone or do something that is outside of my home, and literally get into my car and can get right up in front of their face and instantly it switches. And I'm like, I got to get out of here. Now, some people be like, that's a panic attack. Sometimes some people might say it's an anxiety attack. Not always. Because an omnivert, basically, they are extreme because it is all about their mood. So it's based off of their mood swings. And so, yes, I have said before on my channel, for you guys who be like, oh, Shai, you're so nice, blah, blah, blah. And I am. But the thing is that I am moody. And basically something can trigger it. Now, some people may say, oh, it's a chemical imbalance. It does have a lot to do with the chemicals, and I will not get into those chemicals, but all of us have chemicals that make up the traits, whether we are an extrovert, an introvert, an omnivert, or an ambivert. This topic is so close to my heart because of the fact that I really do not like how people tend to treat people who are introverts or omniverts or ambiverts. And if you never heard those terms, ambiverts or omnivert, it's not a problem because they kind of fall under the category of introverts. So a lot of people are not familiar with it. There are differences. Now, yes, there are triggers for some people. Yes, I might have anxiety. I do have panic attacks from time to time. But there are people who don't suffer from anxiety or panic attacks, but they can have these traits of an ambivert or omnivert. And what you really need to understand is we should not treat introverted people like they're doing something wrong. Did you ever stop to ask that person if they're happy being alone? Did you ever stop to ask that person like, hey, are you really comfortable with that? There are some people that really look forward to hurry up running into their house and staying there until it's time to go back to work. What harm is that doing to you? Maybe you want to be out there ripping and running in, on the streets in a weekend or whatever. And people be like, it's not good for people to be locked up like that. I don't want people to keep thinking that their lifestyles, other people's lifestyles as an introvert or omnivert or ambivert is being locked up. We're not in prison, okay? We just choose to live this kind of lifestyle, because what people who are extroverts need to understand is that the same way that you're looking at something is wrong with us, we could be looking at you like there's something wrong. Like, I tend to look at people sometimes and be like, okay, so, you're always out and about. Okay, you pay rent, you pay a mortgage. Are you ever at home to enjoy it? Like, there are people who literally only go into their homes to eat and sleep and get bathed. And that's pretty much it. And probably feed the fish. That's about it. But what I'm saying is, I respect those people. If that's what you want to do, that's fine. I don't like the fact that people will just instantly put a label on people who are introverted. Some people like me, I love being in my home, whether I own a house or I'm in an apartment. I've always, as a certain time period came in my life, I just started being more of a homebody. And it has nothing to do with my age. For me, it's my environment around me. I personally feel like I don't really want to be out there. I am so happy when I'm at home. I really am. And I'm telling you, I can park my car on Friday. If I don't have to go to the grocery store, if I don't have to go out to PetSmart or whatever for Ruby, if there's nothing that I really have to do, I'm telling you, I make my home my oasis. So I'm very, very happy. It's not a mansion. It's just an apartment, but I love it. Wherever I go, whether I own a house or have an apartment, I love it. And I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I don't like when people keep coming up to me and saying, you need to get out. How do you know what I need? What I need is that peace of mind. And I get it, in my home. Sometimes I get this urge, and there are very few weekends out of the year where I will go out and hang out all weekend long. But if I do it for a weekend, I promise y'all I'm good for 3 to 4 months. That's just how I am. And I mean for people to be okay with that. Be okay with that. There's nothing wrong with me. There's nothing, people be like, you're just going to let life pass you by. You don't know. You don't know. I mean, so what you're saying is people are only living life if they're always out and about. And some people are like, you just sit up there and you're watching TV. I didn't say what I'm doing in my apartment. And no matter what I am doing, you cannot put a label and say, that's not a life. That is a life. It's just not your life. It's my life. It's that person next door that they don't really like coming out. They like peeking out the peephole, and they're fine. They don't really need to come out. I have balconies. I can go out. I can sit out. I can get fresh air if you're concerned about that. But I like my life. And I want to say for all introverts, the different types of introverts, that it's okay. I came across this topic. It was just something that I wanted to talk about real quick in my mind, because I used to see like little skits on Instagram where people, they would do skits where they get on the couch and they're happy, and they got their dog or cat next to them, and they're watching their favorite show, and they're just like, look, hey, this is what I like. I love being in my home, all weekend long. I mean, some of us can't, some of us have to go out if you have children or things like that. And I'm not saying that I don't go out. What I'm saying is that the majority of the time I do enjoy being at home. Majority of the time I do enjoy being alone. When I do tend to go out, it's going to be in a very small group. I mean, we can't control the outside world, But I try as much as possible to control the group, the places that I go. Okay, this is the reason why when I go out, yeah, I go to stores and stuff like that, but usually it's first thing, I mean, butt crack dawn, soon as they open up, because it's not as many people around or whatever. And again, like I said, that does not always mean that when someone does that, that doesn't mean that oh my God, they have anxiety issues or whatever. It might just be a preference. I just want people to respect that. Yeah, it's not a cry for help. Do I get lonely sometimes? Yeah, sometimes, you know. But if I was really, I mean, I'm pretty sure I could go out there and be the life of the party and all of that, but I choose not to. And I'm okay. And people be like, oh my God, I feel so bad for you. You're just wasting away. I mean, my opinion is, have y'all taken a look at the world lately? Yeah. So I just wanted to educate you guys on that, and be okay. Be okay with people who are introverted, in some sort of way. It's not the end of the world at all. All right. So until next time, you guys take care of yourselves, and I'll be talking to you soon. All right. Bye-bye.